This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so thanks for waiting, everybody. And yes, so quickly let me play our last session recording. Just a minute, everybody.
This conference will now be recorded.
All right, so let me get into the SAP screen. Allow me a minute. So last session, I was explaining you all how to copy the sales document types. I was referring all standard document types and was copying. So let me go back to SPRO, that is IMD screen. Here, sales and distribution down, sales documents, header, define sales document type, ZAR, right? So in the last session, I was showing you all the process of copying and making our own document type. Yeah, yeah. Please mute yourself, Sampath. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
So, yeah, thank you. So the way of copying is very important. If you all might have noticed, system was extracting the key backup tables which supports the functionality of every document type. So copying need to be done very carefully. That is what I was doing exclusively a session. That was our last session. Now, a copy of all the standard key tables which supports the functionality of the sales document environment is been extracted, and we made all those copies. I made my inquiry, quotation, order, rush order, cash sales, master content, all right. Now copying is just for our purpose of our making. To actually understand the content, it is very important. For example, today I'm starting with inquiry and quotation, so I've selected both and details. Now here, this is a template: number system, general control, transaction flow, scheduling, shipping, billing, required delivery date, pricing date, purchase order date, contract, and availability check. So we have these many views here, right? So this is the template. Got so many fields. The main focus and the point what you all need to understand here is, if I write here inquiry, what to be organized. So all the key tables what you got is from the database extracted, and every table supports with some fields functionality. So we need to get this list organized in the SAP database. For example, VBAK is a table in which these layouts are organized. That is technical. By the administrator, organized by an ABAPer. And what we do functionally, according to the document type you name, you are going to organize the fields. So functionally, you should know what is the purpose of every field and which option fits into what field, what is the domain of every field, how it responds in the front end, which meets the day-to-day execution process of every business situation. Right. So here, by writing inquiry doesn't become inquiry. Organize the fields, inquiry. So inquiry is a document which comes under pre-sales, the very first sales transaction type. Right. So here we have categorized as A. So by writing here inquiry doesn't become inquiry. It should be categorized. So sales document category tells what is the document you are making. Since I'm making inquiry, it is categorized as A. Okay. So A is applicable as a document category for inquiry. Fine. An indicator is not for us, ignore it at the moment. And here we have sales document block. Put sales document type block here. That is, if I put select X here, nobody can be used this document in the front end for any kind of transaction. So for blocking a transaction not to be usable in the front end, this one is optional. So for your easy understanding and clarity, what I do now, I'm going to mark in green which are mandated to be maintained. So you'll understand which fields are must to be maintained first. So these green marked fields are mandatory to be maintained, and these yellow marked are optional. So for inquiry, we have fields applicable under blue marked number system, general control, transaction flow. So making simple for you. So inquiry is a document which comes under pre-sales. It got the fields to be maintained which come under number system, general control, transaction flow. First point. And these green marked fields are mandatory. Yellow marked fields are optional. So we got the first clarity, what are applicable as must, what are applicable as optional, and what views are applicable. Done. Fine. Category, what is I told you? Sales document block. If you put a block, nobody can use it. And number ranges. Remember, only for sales document, we have a facility of initiating the number ranges, internal and external. So I repeat again, only for sales document, we have a number range initiatable as internal and external. So here we have connected both internal and external. Right? Default you will see 03004. Let it be for time being. So anyway, you'll be understanding how to make a number ranges and how to initiate the number ranges in the coming sessions. Right. So here we have internal and external both the number ranges initiated. Fine. Understand number ranges are must. So why internal and external both? See, when you are executing this document type in the front end to raise a sales transaction, save it, it picks up a number directly from internal. If you want, you can allot a number from external. Simple. So you'll understand after we go how internal will respond and react, how external will respond and react. Right. And now here, item number increment, sub item number increment. When I say item number increment, it is all about serial number in SAP. When I was doing bill submit in the previous session, I was telling about. So defaultly in SAP, the serial number will start with 10. If we go with sub-item increment kept as 1, the second number will be 11, 12, 13, 14 kind of. If you leave it blank, then system will take the numbers equal 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 kind of. So it is all about serial number scenario. So let it be 10. Sub-item increment, I am leaving blank for inquiry, but we'll see in the coming days. For some applications, I'll mark as 1, I'll mark as 10. You'll see how it responds lively. All right, everybody. That's about your number ranges, internal and external concept, and that's about your item number increment and sub-item number increment concept. Now here we have reference mandatory. This is not at all applicable for inquiry. This is not at all applicable for inquiry. Why? Inquiry will can be a reference to the next level document. Inquiry can be a document, but nothing will come reference to inquiry. That's the reason this is not applicable at all. So that's the reason reference mandatory is nil. So we'll discuss, you'll understand about this field if applicable in the next coming document. Now check division. This is also mandatory. I think I missed out to check. This is also mandatory, very important. Now here you have three options: no dialogue, dialogue, error. What exactly it mean? When I say no dialogue, dialogue, or error, what exactly it mean? This you need to understand. See, you have been to a showroom to buy some product. So I think you have been to Zara showroom to buy a jacket, but you found a trouser very attractive. Now you want to buy a trouser. Should they sell or not? Definitely they'll sell, right? So they are bothered if you're not buying. They're not bothered what you're buying. You're buying a jacket or trouser, anything, fine. But think about a hospital. A patient goes to hospital for a dental checkup. At the time of the appointment time, he asks for an appointment with an orthopedician. Should it be happen? Maybe may not be, right? So maybe or may not be it may, because at that time the doctor should be available. Even though the doctor is available, slot should be there. Lot of ifs and buts. So depending upon the client business, the product what for the customer entered, if he is not buying that product, if he buying some other product, how system should react? Error, dialogue, or no dialogue. Now this is a competitive market. Always we give as no dialogue. Always we give as no dialogue. That means think about even hospital. Even though the orthopedician is not available, still the reception will arrange some duty doctor and he will write some test and the test should be done. Meanwhile, you get the test done, the main doctor will come. That's how the business is running now, even in hospitals. Because nowhere people want to lose their business. That's the intention. That's the concept. So no dialogue. When maintained, whatever products are available in the product line, you can buy anything. So if the division is changing, that is product line is changing at the time of transaction, how system should react? No dialogue. Probability. What is the probability of an inquiry converting to a quotation? What is the probability of a quotation converting to an order? Depending upon the client business situation, right? For example, a heart patient going to a hospital. What is the probability of he getting the treatment? I say 100%. But think about you want to buy a jacket. You may buy a Levi's jacket, you may buy a Guess one, you may buy a Zara, you may buy a Tommy. So probability depending upon the brand status. So who will tell? Client. I say anybody who come to Zara showroom, it's a 20% probability they may turn up, landing up asking a quotation or landing up placing an order, etc. Credit limit, credit group, they are not applicable for inquiry, ignore. And output application is also mandatory. Once again, I'll mark. mandatory, 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 mandatory. These marked are mandatory. Optional, 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 optional. Right? No confusion, please. Done. Now, output. We have totally three types of outputs. Right? We have sales, we have shipping, and we have billing. That is order relevance, delivery relevance, and billing relevance. So V1, V2, and V3, sales, shipping, billing. The sales documents all marked with V1. So always output application is V1. And one more mandatory here, that is material entry type. Now here, a material when entered during the sales transaction, it reads by material number. Enter with material number, first option to be selected. Other two are not relevant for us, they are production related. So take first one. And here item division marked, read info record marked. Yes. Item division to mark because when a sales transaction is happening, you take the reference of sales area. So item division is nothing but a reference of division identification. Right. So item division to be marked here so that it reads the product identity through the division of sales area. So connect here item. Right. Done. And read info record. This is optional. If you all remember, previously we was working on info record, customer material information. I said we are going to map that layout to order management. That is the new cloud update, what you are understanding. So that system will respond with the customer's buying behavior. So that system will respond with the customer's buying behavior. So when I mark this, you will see its reference presenting in the sales transaction window. All right. So how the read info record responds, you will see lively after we go to the front end, maybe mid of next week. Now make sure you mark this, very important, very much the informative, organized, customizing step. And check purchase order number, they are not applicable, ignore them. For inquiry, I mean to say. And here, screen sequence group. According to the sales document type, the screen layout should be presented. According to the sales document type, the screen layout should be presented. According to the sales document type, the screen layout should be presented. So AG is the screen layout which shows the content of the inquiry domain related layout. So AG is a sales document type which will source the fields relevant to inquiry. Right? Done. And transaction group, every transaction relevant to a business domain. So for inquiry, it is to be marked as 1. So these all comes from the SAP default database. Since we have extracted, it is responding from the database. Right? So organizing these is functional. So understanding the purpose of every option is the functional consultant knowledge. So that according to the client business process, one among the option you maintain, it will respond in the front end. So layout customizing is very important. Field by field understanding is very important. When you have this knowledge, you can survive on any version of SAP, ECC, S4 HANA, and HANA Cloud, the coming versions. That's the reason we are customizing manual setup. So understand this business process, understand this point. It is a little bit tough, but I'll make it very simple. 10 document types. 10 times I'm explaining. So that by the time you listen again and again and again and again with the live examples, you'll get every clarity. And how this all works, you will see lively in the front end. Then again, you'll get much more clarity. And practically, when you experience the same in terms of practicing, you will get good command. And you'll see the effect of this depth knowledge after you join the job or at the time of interview. Because as a consultant, you should have a clarity on every activity. So no matter one session more, you'll be understanding all, will be executing all. Please do follow and invest your efforts to learn at this clarity. Okay, fine. So since it is an inquiry, it is grouped as one. And again, very important field. What price is applicable, it will be respondable with reference to pricing controls. What price is applicable, it is respondable with reference to pricing controls. So here for time being, it is A, let it be. In the coming sessions, we are going to customize our own pricing controls and we replace this A by our own way, right? So very important and very huge. So let it be A for timing. So others views are not even applicable as optional. So I repeat again, inquiry is the document type which got the fields as these as mandatory. Only these marked. Other fields are not even applicable as optional. And these yellow marked are applicable as optional. Only this marked. So yellow marked are optional, green marked are mandatory. So you understood what are the functionality of this green marked fields, how many options are there, which option is used for what purpose. And yellow marked, why they are optional also you understood. Now what you need to do after the session when I share this recording, take a sheet, write down as inquiry, and write down these green marked fields as mandatory. First, write down these blue marked. Blue marked are the views which are applicable. Maintain for inquiry. Green marked are mandatory fields for inquiry. Yellow marked optional fields for inquiry. So when you write down, first the views applicable, second the green marked fields, third the yellow marked fields. You write down. So do you understand when you want to refer? Okay, these are mandatory, these are optional, and these views are applicable. Done. Inquiry. Like that, when I explain about quotation, then again quotation related fields which are mandatory, quotation related views which are mandatory, quotation related fields which are optional. I'm going to write. And you, after the class, when you get the recording, you start making a note. So 10 document types. You should prepare yourself. You should prepare for your reference purpose 10 sheets. So when you write down, you never forget. When you write down, you remember what you learn. When you write down, you can easily refer what you undergone during the learning and how it is applicable. And in the front end, when you go for a transaction, your return content you can go through. Oh, since I marked this, it is presenting in this way. This is the method what I adopted when I was learning, and I tell the same to every trainee in every batch to adopt the same method. You go anywhere, you go any or YouTube or any video you see, you will not get to see this all explanation. If you are getting to see anywhere, this is my explanation again. So again, I have added the new updated content with some fields which was not in the old version. In the latest versions only you'll see this. And the servers what you're using, I'm updated them also, the fields content, so that you'll get the same mirror image of this, so you can practice hassle free. Right. So these fields makes identity of inquiry. When it come to quotation now, everything is mostly same like inquiry, but few extra. So again, I'll explain all with the extra content and with the change of options. Why 70 here? Why 10? Why how can I go with one here? Here it is UER2. If not UER2, anything else I can maintain. And here display range and UER2. We are left out with these two fields in inquiry. Let us understand. So AG we maintain here. Just a minute. Screen will get hanged up if such so. Just come out of the screen and re-go. Inquiry. So AG will sort the screen layout you understood, and transaction group is one, and document pricing procedure per time being a little bit. Display range. You have an option of all items, main items are selected. As you learning, let you understand the complete layout presentation. So always the display range should be, it should present the complete layout relevant to inquiry. And function code for OV screen. Out of the list of views, what you see in a transaction screen, in which view system should defaultly land? Does it need to take you to the general overview or item overview? So for some document types, I'll mark UER1. For some documents, I'll mark UER2. How they will respond and react, you'll understand after we go to the front end. So for inquiry, I'll mark UER2. So these fields makes identity of inquiry. Now quotation. Most of the fields are similar like inquiry, but the scenarios are few added here because quotation is the next level document. So I'm going to explain the quotation content. It got, other than number system, general control, transaction flow, it got some extra fields down also. You need to understand all. So tomorrow, being for the very first day, first document type I've explained today, and I'm giving you a break. Go through this today's recording, no matter where you're lying in practicing or following in the previous session's point of view. Let it go. Before you all come to tomorrow's class, please make sure you go today's recording, so that your understanding of document type will be on your reach. And when I start explaining about quotation, you will compare some of the common for inquiry. And again there on Monday when I explain order types, then again it will be repatched and reconnected. So continuously you'll see the document explanation with field by field. You'll get the clarity about the functionality about the field. Why I'm saying this much means, very important chapter, very depth content chapter. Entire module is executed on this layout. So what all we did till date is to execute this layout. What all you are going to learn after this chapter is to release this layout. So sales document is a platform, right? So do understand and do go through today's recording and do the way how I suggested, preparing for understanding inquiry document. So tomorrow we'll understand quotation, and after tomorrow I'll write a comparative statement, because we have order types are three. Three are order types only, but slight difference in execution. So to meet this difference of execution, what fields maintaining with what option, it become general order, it become rush order, it become cash sales. I'm going to write a comparative statement on the board. So that is our focus for tomorrow. Understanding the fields which makes identity of quotation, compared to statement of difference of field management, which speaks about these three order types. And Monday I'm going to explain the layout of these three documents with the field management. Refer in the chart what I'll be writing tomorrow. All right. So do understand and do follow and do work accordingly. So thank you all. Do join with the same meeting link. I see you all in tomorrow's session, please.